Hello, everyone, and welcome to Polysaturated. This is episode 29, and if you're like us, we're doing an attempt to quarantine. I am Zan, and I am here with
Crow
and
Jay,
and we also have special guests here. We have our kids back. We have
Amethyst
and
Selkie
and
Mercury.
I think this might end up being kind of not a regular thing, but something we do occasionally. We went and vended this weekend at a punk flea market. We were talking with one of the other vendors who is a coffee, well, she does her own coffee thing, which is fucking cool.
it smells really awesome.
Oh, it smells delicious.
The nectar of the goddess.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Goddess Caffeina.
can you imagine having all that coffee readily available at all times?
Or the magic recipe alchemists know how to create said things.
Yes. Yes.
I'm holding it up to the mic so you can all smell.
Yeah.
I don't.
They can at least hear how delicious it is.
I don't think it works like that, Crow.
It smells really good. She has all kinds of special blends.
Oh, yeah.
And because we were vending, one of the cool things is you get to intermingle with the vendors. Sometimes we get to trade products. So that's what she did. We told her that we did a podcast and that we kind of did a thing with the review of a coffee. And she was like, well, here, let me donate to the cause. So we are trying this coffee out for the first time. And her company name is
Drogo Coffee.
Yeah.
DROGO Coffee. And this blend that we're trying today is called Mom's Roast. This is one that's dedicated to her mother. And let me just read here. We have flavor notes of dark chocolate roasted peanuts. Origin is Brazil, and roasted is dark. Her name is Barry, and you can reach her at drogocoffee.com, or you can hit her up at BARRIE at DROGOcoffee.com. And she's a pretty awesome person.
Yeah. She has a lot of really cool blends. And tea, coffee, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
anyway,
so we're going to give it a try.
We're going to start this episode off
with a sip of the nectar of the gods.
And it's a bag of beans that we got, and so we ground them ourselves. And
it smells delicious.
It does smell delicious.
We made this in a French press this time.
Yes, we actually did it at recommended sort of doses, just a little more.
Recommended measurements this time instead of our norm. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wow.
Actually, just smelling it is making my mouth slightly water.
Yeah, I want some later.
Very good.
Yeah, we have more, trust me.
This is very, very good. This is very...
It's good.
Je déteste café.
Dark chocolate is.
Yes, Mercury is not a fan of coffee.
Yeah, he doesn't like coffee. He's one of those people that we talked about in one of our other episodes that just doesn't like coffee.
He's the only one in this family that doesn't like coffee.
He's the black
It's
sheep of our
absolutely
black
strange.
sheep family.
It's like I tell people, it's perfectly normal if you don't like coffee, or just please understand that you're wrong.
Wait a minute.
It like develops once it sits on the back of the tongue. Made my soul feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that experts have been recommending is to drink lots of hot liquids during this outbreak.
And you know what's a
Yeah.
hot liquid mostly?
Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're like me and like it cold.
Yeah, I used
Wait
to be
a
like you
minute.
and like it cold.
I occasionally like it cold, but like in a frappe type of thing. If you can find a sugar-free version of it sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend this coffee. This is good. I think our next episode, we actually got another bag from our friend and listener Cassie. It was a blend from Peru, from the Atlas Coffee place.
Yeah, next one is from Peru.
And we will be sampling that next time.
Yes,
So,
but definitely go buy you some of this Drogo coffee. It is amazing.
get the coffee.
Get the coffee.
This is
You know, right now, a lot of businesses are having to move themselves online or are just barely hanging on by a thread, if at all, especially local vendors and things like that, because a lot of times they are just supporting themselves by vending. A lot of their events have been canceled.
So
If you have a favorite artist or a vendor or someone who makes a product, order online. Do that.
yeah, order from them, because the thing is like when we were vending this weekend, we went and we were talking to a lot of them. We do this as kind of a side thing, and that's fine. Just kind of extra income for for our family. But a lot of them do it full time, and that's their full time job. And when their events get canceled, it hurts. It hurts big time. So we, support our artist friends as much as possible. So, and actually, you know what? On our Facebook page, if you have an art or you have something that you do, you make or whatever, specialty, Etsy, anything like that, just post it on our page. Because you need, if you're a starving artist, they call them that for a reason. Even if you're not a starving artist and you just want to get out there and post your stuff, go right ahead.
A lot of people don't realize that a week of people not buying your stuff means a lot of stuff is not going to you. Like, lots of money and cash is not going to you in that week's period that you're not selling or doing anything.
Absolutely, it's a huge loss, and it's hard to get back from that.
Right.
Because it's not just a lack of income. It's a whole chain effect that goes from there.
Well, especially if you've prepaid for an event. And so you were expecting to make significant profit on top of what you paid to get into the event. A lot of times you buy that and there's no refund policy. A lot of people are being generous and actually refunding your money, but they don't have to. And so vendors have forked out hundreds and thousands of dollars to be able to go to these events thinking they were going to make significant profit, are now at a loss.
And that brings up the topic of this episode, and I think it's going to be directed by Quentin Quarantino. No. Quarantino. No. It's
That was the sound of Amethyst face palming.
Yes.
She's going to get a concussion one day.
We all face palm a lot when Zan's talking.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Just saying.
At least there's a consensus. It's one thing everybody can agree on.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least we're being honest.
Right?
That's the
We
point.
don't
Keeping
lie
it
in
poly
this
real.
house.
Yeah.
So, Jay, of course, made a list. I didn't find out about the list until like
Dinner.
yeah, about
Actually,
an hour ago.
no.
She
I
had
let
that on
them
the
know.
on the chat like 6 hours ago.
She did.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, who didn't read the chat now?
Ooh. You got called out.
Moving on.
Were you even paying attention?
Moving on.
Didn't you accuse me of that earlier today?
What was on the
I have
chat?
no idea what you're talking about.
I even posted a picture of the four of us planning the podcast.
Where's my
Was I one of the
popcorn?
four?
You were one of the three on the chat.
But was I one of the four planning the list?
There was pictures and words to tell you what was going on.
So, so typically, you can probably hear Jay's eyes through the microphone, the look that she's giving me right now, and I typically strive for that look because it's just fun. Just to,
I need
and
my
Anyway.
Wait a
popcorn.
minute.
While Zan was away twiddling his thumbs and not paying attention to anything else in life like he's really good at doing, we were all working our butts off trying to come up with lists. So at least the kids and I were responsible today.
We were productive.
I was productive. I was at
Somewhat.
work, twiddling my thumbs. Jeez.
I was at work, but I was in fact twiddling my thumbs.
Oh, see?
I actually found this. One of my teachers told me about this study that said that basically your IQ drops whenever you go online or whatever by 10 points. And also, it is about the same workload as a normal job. So if you're going through emails or whatever, your IQ drops and it's like doing physical work.
See,
yeah,
I actually
did-
think that happens whenever I'm talking to some of my coworkers.
If your IQ points dropped every time you logged online, you would have the IQ of a dead carrot.
A dead carrot?
I don't think it's a permanent drop. He's talking about like a
So
momentary,
he-
temporary drop.
Oh.
Because you're not using your brain the same way you would.
I'm sure the amount of you actually being able to pay attention goes down.
So, Jay has made a list, of course. And okay, so why don't you go into what this episode's about, since I didn't get the memo till
Yeah.
late.
I
Okay.
wonder why.
So basically, we all know that we're all locked in our homes together.
It's a guillotine.
Yeah.
That sounds too much like guillotine.
Guillotine.
Which was actually used in France until 1976.
Given the current political climate, it may come to this.
Are you talking about the purge?
Yikes.
I wouldn't put it past anyone.
But I have a lot of different things to talk about. Ways to keep yourselves busy, ways to keep your kids busy, ways to escape and have alone and personal time. And each of the kids also have lists, or should I say young adults have their own lists and
Youngins.
tips and hints and recollections of their younger years and what they liked to do.
Younger years?
Well, yeah, they were a lot younger.
But they're still young.
I was
Yeah.
4 once.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We were
As a
all
kid, I
4
thought
once.
adults just popped out of thin air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benjamin Buttons or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we had this talk.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
had this
yeah, I
talk
know.
before as to where adults and kids come from.
Well, once upon a time, he believed that. Not anymore, right?
What?
Please tell me you're...
Right, Mercury?
Yes, I believe it.
Okay, all right.
Wait.
What?
And the only one of the many stupid things I believed as a kid was teachers slept at school, because that's all where I saw them.
Some of them might.
Some of them might, yeah.
We love our teachers, but they sure in the hell don't get paid enough.
No.
Yeah.
They don't get paid enough to sleep anywhere. Oh. Actually, that's kind of depressing.
She has now made herself sad.
All right, so, Jay, take it away, Jay.
Okay, so you may be thinking that this is all drudgery and horrible and oh my god, we're stuck inside. Oh, what
With
are
each
we
other.
going to do?
Oh no!
God
we're
forbid.
No,
melting.
it's horrible.
God forbid I be stuck in the house with my family.
I don't
But-
like my family usually. What am I going to do?
Right? And so those things should make you question if you've made the right life decisions. I'm just saying. Like, I personally love being home, having my kids home, and the extra time I'm going to get with my husbands. And I love it when we're all together because that time is limited. And, you know, we can all sit around and freak the hell out as much as we want to, but it's really not going to benefit our lives. We need to take our precautions, do what we have to do to protect ourselves, but then get to freaking enjoying your life and do things.
Yeah.
Like, there's so
Earlier-
many perks to this.
Earlier, Jay was being the drill sergeant and made us run 2 miles.
It wasn't too bad, actually.
See,
You're in
Stay out of
track.
this.
see, Mercury, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They had to
but
carry me the last, half a mile.
We
or so.
did not. He
That's like-
totally trekked on.
right, we drug him
Mercury's
by
in
his feet.
track, so it's not as hard for him.
Yeah.
That's beside the point, Amethyst. This
Yeah, so the last, mile and a half, we had to drag Crow by his feet.
ha ha. Crow's feet.
Yeah, see? Ta-da,
Yeah.
ta-dum, tss, no, no.
No.
Gwen is over there.
You have a
Thinks
womp
he's
womp, we
very
can splice
Womp,
it.
womp,
And
womp.
Selkie just face palmed.
Again.
Yeah.
No, this is my first time.
Okay.
I guess we can start with coping mechanisms. We know everybody's stressed the fuck out.
So drinking?
No.
You didn't let me finish.
That's what Amethyst suggested
Drinking-
earlier.
drinking-
Amethyst actually kept mentioning drinking
But-
on her list.
But drinking coffee
And
is
she
what I was...
doesn't even drink.
If you
She's
would've
not
let me-
21 yet, people.
If you were going to let me finish, I would have said drinking coffee
Ah.
from
End
Drogo
of
Coffee.
the world as
We were
know
actually
it.
riding down the road earlier singing that at the top of our lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels
With the
pretty
windows
accurate.
down.
Wasn't part of it. No.
So other better coping mechanisms.
So, there are some really cool techniques that you may not be aware of. We have still decided to be active and try to get our exercise and stuff in. And you really don't realize how beneficial that is. It gets all of the neurotransmitters and all the chemicals going in your body, the good feel-good stuff. And it just gets you to focus on something else than what's going on right now outside. And so then once you do that, it kind of puts you in a mind frame that you're better suited to make the best of the day. And so there are other things too. There's a lot of meditation techniques. There's this thing called EFT tapping, which has been really super helpful for our family over the years. It's basically accessing certain points on your body and tapping them and repeating statements. And there's plenty of videos and there's plenty of resources out there on YouTube. Brad Yates is really good. Nick Ortner is really good. But there's currently an app out that is called the tapping solution app. And on it, there's actually a coronavirus anxiety tapping